Good day, everyone. Welcome to Real Conservative Headline News. I'm your host, Nathaniel Rajkumar. Starting off locally here in Trinidad and Tobago, Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar says the business of the people of Trinidad and Tobago remains her priority. In a post to her social media pages, she said she returned on Wednesday from the historic and highly successful Shield of America Summit in Florida. She shared that she was chairing Thursday's weekly cabinet meeting at the Diplomatic Center, where her government continues to focus on people-centered policies and delivering for the nation. The Prime Minister said the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago will meet on Friday as the government continues to work in its service to all. And I'm very proud of our Prime Minister for going and meeting with President Donald Trump and letting the whole world know that she is strong enough and courageous enough to stand up against even her own fellow leaders in the Caribbean, the tribal leaders in the Caribbean who despise the white man, America, who despise our colonial past and Western civilization, even though they continue to hold on to democracy in their respective islands, But yet they praise communist leaders in Cuba and Venezuela and Russia and China. Telling you we are living in a world where the Bible said that evil will be considered good and good will be considered evil, and also it's full of complete hypocrisy and double standards. Don't go anywhere. More local, regional, and international news up next. Veterinarian Dr. Kiran Singh reports encouraging progress for injured ocelot Papawute. In an exciting update, the rescued ocelot Papawute has shown significant improvement. I'm happy to hear that. Veterinarian and the Laromaine Veterinary Clinic, Dr. Kiran Singh, confirmed that just 3 weeks after the wounded ocelot was discovered in the forest of Granville, he is receiving extensive care to ensure the best overall outcome. Dr. Singh reported that the animal is now eating on his own, consuming his daily required calorie intake, and having regular urinary and neurogenic bladder functions. What is even more encouraging is that Papawute is now moving his tail and neck, signaling reversing nerve damage. Dr. Singh noted that greater improvements are soon expected. Dr. Singh said although Papawute has shown positive signs of recovery, he is unclear about his final outcome. He noted that the next steps will be determined after 1 complete year under intensive care. Now, if the animal isn't able to regain full function of his body, then of course most likely it will have to remain in the care of some, probably in the zoo or so.
Our next aim for him is really where he is able to sit up on his own rather than us having to put him in that position and prop up on his own. What he has right now is excellent movement of his neck again.
Dr. Singh said although Papawute has shown positive signs of recovery, he is unclear about its final outcome. He noted that after 1 complete year under intensive care, the next steps will be determined.
So those are very positive signs for showing that he is recovering, but we still cannot determine what his final outcome would be. A lot of people are asking, well, will he walk again and will he return to the wild? Those are 2 questions that we are not even focused on right now. We are focused on having him each day do a little better and better.
With more than 2 decades of experience caring for injured ocelots, Dr. Singh assured the public that Papawute remains in excellent hands.
The West Indies women are gearing up for one of the biggest challenges of the year, a T20 international series against the world's top-ranked side, Australia. Australia dominates in cricket, whether the T20 level, the international, one-day international, or Test cricket. The 3-match series bowls off on March 19th at Arnos Vale in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and is a crucial part of the team's World Cup preparation. And that's what I said in my other news report. I said how it's important for whether it's football or cricket or whatsoever, we need to have a whole lot more regional events so that we can compete amongst each other throughout the year to be able to improve, to develop the natural skills of our cricketers and our sportsmen and women and so forth. And besides that, we have to encourage them to just not consider this a job or a way to be able to be famous and earn an income. Do it for the love of the sport. Regional news up next.
Forecast for Friday, March 13, 2026. Conditions: mostly sunny and breezy conditions are expected to start the day. There may be a few partly cloudy spells with isolated showers. Rainfall: while the day will be mostly dry, there is a low chance for a moderate to heavy shower, particularly near hilly areas or in western Trinidad during the afternoon. Temperature: Trinidad, Piarco, expected maximum temperature around 31 degrees Celsius. Tobago, Crown Point, expected maximum temperature around 30 degrees Celsius. Wind, generally moderate to fresh easterly winds with the potential for gusts near showers. Sea conditions are expected to be moderate, with waves in open waters ranging from 2.0 meters to 2.5 meters and near 1.0 meters in sheltered areas.
Sailing Week 2026 in St. Vincent and the Grenadines is expected to be bigger this year, with the Ministry of Tourism reporting an increase in registrations and sponsorship support. The focus for this year's event is on activities that promote a green regatta, as organizers move to implement more sustainable practices throughout the 9-day celebration. The new administration is doing a whole lot to develop infrastructure in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and also to promote tourism on their islands, on their respective islands. This is wonderful news. And that's what happens when you decide to change a political party, switch, give somebody else a chance. Hopefully one of these good days here in Trinidad and Tobago, we might even give another political party a chance. But for now, at least the UNC is still the better option, even though I have a lot of issues with them.
Regional and international partners have reportedly committed to participating in the 9 days of Sailing Week, which kicks off on March 29th.
Thus far, we have seen registration from the United States, Trinidad, United Kingdom, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, and Barbados. These registrations are in 7 classes: J24s, J80, and cruisers.
Aina Brown, Quality Development Manager at the SVG Tourism Authority. Brown says young sailors will also be highlighted at this year's regatta, with activities planned in the Southern Grenadines. This year's Sailing Week has been dubbed a Green Regatta, with several initiatives to be introduced. These include going paperless during promotional activities and reducing waste.
It ensures that we are protecting our marine environment. We can't have sailing and we can't speak to the destination being a sailing destination without ensuring that we have that level of sustainability. So we are going to have a recycle station across our events, and we're working with Action Beckwith with that.
Single-use plastics are being discouraged, and wooden trophies will also be utilized. Additionally, a cleanup exercise is slated for March 13th at the Big Sand Beach in Sandy Bay. A packed schedule of onshore activities is also planned for Beckway, including fetes, fitness walks, beach activities, and cuisine showcases. Chair of the Beckway Onshore Committee, Kasai Simmons, says security is a priority and accommodation should not be a problem.
I wouldn't say that accommodation is full, right? What we're trying to do from a Beckway Tourism Association perspective is try to get more of those accommodation registered. There's a lot of businesses out there that are not on Airbnb, they're not online. So we're working close with them to get them up to speed. I would say you could reach out to the Beckway Tourism Association, and they're very helpful, and they will find accommodation for you guys.
Meanwhile, Minister of Tourism Dr. Kishore Shala says he was tasked by Prime Minister Dr. Godwin Friday to return the Easter Regatta to Beckway in its traditional form while advancing the event.
This Sailing Week is going to be the biggest Sailing Week in decades. I'm happy with the component by Kasai and his team. They have been working extremely hard. And again, this is a total team effort.
There are reportedly over 20 sponsors supporting this year's regatta. For SVG TV News, Larissa Pogsley-Kidd.
Mayor of May Pen, Joel Williams in Jamaica, says the grounds of the old police station in the town will be transformed into a shopping enclave with individual outlets for vendors as part of a broader strategy to address illegal vending. Speaking during Thursday's meeting of the Clarendon Municipal Corporation, Williams disclosed that the municipality has received favorable response from the National Investment Fund of Jamaica regarding its request to utilize the property. He explained that the proposed development is intended to complement ongoing improvements in the Bargain Village and Omni Plaza areas, and noted that the required plans and documentation for properties used are currently being submitted. Pointing to the continued challenge of illegal vending across the town, the mayor said individuals involved in the practice have already been engaged through sensitization sessions conducted with the assistance of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Now, this sounds good, yes, but the thing about it is, number one, most likely you're going to have to pay a rent. And a lot of the times, people are not generating a large enough income to be able to pay a rent. And number two, you're talking about where pedestrians are located in larger numbers. Those are where vendors usually go, situate themselves, put themselves in order to be able to make a few sales. It's still a lot of the time there isn't anything significant to do. So when you place them in these one little areas, a lot of the times, it's only people that actually really have the intention of going to a market to purchase something will go. A lot of the times when you are, whether you're walking through Grandy or Port of Spain or whatsoever, and you're going home or you're going to school or whatsoever, and you see something and it looks nice, you stop and you buy it. But you didn't have the intention to do so, you know. This is why I honestly don't believe that vending itself should be illegal. I mean, if you want to require them to still pay for a permit, fine, okay. Give them vending permits. And make sure, enforce the law in the sense of not obstructing the free passageway for pedestrians. But I've said this over and over again. A lot of the times they're charging people for vending when it is not on the pavement. It's at the side of the buildings. And if the business owners have given these vendors the permission to be able to utilize in front of their stores, why it is you want to come as police officers and municipal officers and tell them that they have to go and confiscate the people's products and so forth. That is wrong, in my opinion. That type of concept needs to stop. Those type of laws need to be changed. It needs regulation. You need, as I said before, give them permits and whatsoever and ensure that they're not overdoing it. Sometimes even in South Grandy, they do overdo it and people barely have space to be able to walk on the pavements. But as long as they're being reasonable and just using a little space to the side, you shouldn't be arresting people and taking away their goods. The signing of agreements of sale and processing of certificates of titles for allottees of the Good Hope Phase 2 housing development, East Coast Demerara in Guyana, continued yesterday at the Ministry of Housing, CH and PA headquarters. Chief Executive Officer of CH and PA, Dr. Martin Pertab, was on hand to engage with allottees and personally presented several of them with the arrangements of sale. That's something like the deed of comfort here in Trinidad and Tobago, the land for the landless. The Ministry of Housing, CH and PA has been working to ensure that allottees across housing schemes receive their ownership documents and can advance in their journey towards secure home ownership. Isn't that wonderful news? Irfan Ali administration seeking the needs of all their citizens, whether in the higher class, lower class, middle class. Just like how the Kamla Persad administration does here in Trinidad and Tobago, in spite of certain errors that they are making. Farmers at Spencer's Christ Church in Barbados are raising concerns over what they claim is the dumping of septic waste on the agricultural land that they cultivate. Farmer James Matthews said the issue has been ongoing, with septic trucks reportedly traveling to the site and unloading waste at one of the entry points to the farmland. Agriculture Minister Dr. Chantal Monroe-Knight says septic waste was not dumped on the agricultural lands at Spencer's Christchurch, but in a nearby area as authorities investigate reports raised by farmers. The minister warned that those responsible will face the full weight of the law, adding that the matter will be escalated to police when it grows close to people's family, even if it's not on it. But I'm glad that you're looking into it. Investigations began Wednesday after the issue was brought to her attention and circulated on social media.
It is not an issue for us in the interior. But as long as you are passing and you have to come in, where you have to go off the bus and come in there, it is definitely devastating. It is. You can feel bad from the time you get off there. Last week was at its worst. From Thursday all through the week, from Thursday all the week down, it was really at its worst. All weekend it was at its worst. So when you pass there, you get bad fees to come in the road, to come in to the farm. But on the inside here, unless the wind change, it was not a major problem. You know what I'm saying? But it's not a good thing being outside the airport either. I think that in the long term, that can't be good for the country or good for that close proximity to the airport.
How often do they dump outside?
Weekly. But here of late, it has been worse. Last week it has been as worse. It's worse. I've never smelled it that bad before. But last week it was definitely as it worse. Because there's a lady that's selling out there, and I know that she was not able some days to work because, as we said, you know what I'm saying? And that it was really horrible last week, definitely. But even as it is now, it dawned down a bit now. But I don't know. I know if it continues, I don't know. I hope that they won't come no further in. I don't know. No one usually come no further than on the outskirts there. But in this proximity to people that is farming, I don't know. I don't know how detrimental it could be because it is feces. You know what I'm saying? It's feces. It can't be healthy in this area. I know where they could designate, if they could designate somewhere different to put it or what, but I don't know.
I was made aware of the issue of the dumping of what appears to be feces at Spencer's yesterday afternoon. So we have been investigating and working with the relevant authorities, including the Environmental Health Protection Unit. As far as we are aware, no permission was granted for that dumping in the area. We've learned that. We also want to note as well is that there are cameras in the area. We do have possible pictures of the offender, and the intent, therefore, is that we will notify the police and lodge a complaint. But as well, we have senior members of the Ministry of Agriculture and also as well BADMC visiting the area. And as I said, working with other critical ministries, then to be able to make sure that the area, is not jeopardized. I do want to note that the area where the dumping was done is not on the agricultural lands; it's on the other side. That is what has been indicated to me. But nevertheless, it should not have taken place. And it's really a pity that we have stooped so low as Barbadians, to come to this and to have that kind of dumping in an area. And I am looking forward to whoever the offenders are being fully prosecuted.
Election time. While remaining tight-lipped on the exact date and timeline, Prime Minister Philip Davis told reporters that election will be soon in the Bahamas. Speculation surrounding election day have resurfaced following a voice note sent by Progressive Liberal Party Chairman Fred Mitchell earlier this week, which expressed similar sentiments about the 2026 general election. Davis said yesterday that the public can expect this party and his party and candidates to begin ramping up their presence in the community and promoting their message in anticipation of the set date.
Well, all I can say is that the elections would be so. And that's all I'd be prepared to say this time. We expect that we'll be promoting our message, showing what our record has been and what we intend to do going forward. When I reflected on what we have done over the last 4 years, it's tremendous. I mean, it's a lot. I'm proud of the accomplishments, but we want to ensure that it's been impactful. And we're going to demonstrate how we intend to make it more impactful for those who are still not feeling well.
International news now. President Trump says, I want to send our love to Michigan Jewish community and all of the people in Detroit area following the attack of the Jewish synagogue earlier yesterday. He said, I've been fully briefed and it's a terrible thing. We are going to be right down to the bottom of it. I hope justice is served and people realize that I'm telling you, jihadists are attempting to enforce Sharia law throughout the entire world, and they have infiltrated into America, and from the people you were talking about, individuals from the Middle East. And when it is anyone opposes them, or of course when they get an opportunity to target anyone that does not belong to their group, they will do so, especially those that are affiliated with Israel or actually belong to the nation of Israel.
And before we begin, I want to send our love to the Michigan Jewish community and all of the people in Detroit area following the attack on the Jewish synagogue early today. And I've been fully briefed, and it's a terrible thing, but it goes on. We're going to be right down to the bottom of it. It's absolutely incredible that things like this happen.
A new Clemson University report found dozens of social media accounts associated with Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps, IRGC, pushing anti-Israel and anti-U.S. content to sow online discord during the ongoing Iran-U.S. war. According to a report released Wednesday, at least 62 accounts across X, Blue Sky, and Instagram were found to have connections to the IRGC despite claiming to be users from the Americas, England, Scotland, or Ireland. Well, remember, there's a whole other jihadists that have infiltrated those countries. Though most accounts were less than 1 year old, some were created as far back as December 2023. Well, it's a good while now they have infiltrated, you know. All these accounts systematically amplify politically divisive content and disinformation aligned with IRGC narratives, and they are designed to exploit regional fault lines to advance Iranian regime interests, the report went on to say. Now for the interesting facts segment, while the bond between a mother and her newborn is well documented, science has just revealed the staggering biological impact of the fatherhood bond. Researchers have found that skin-to-skin contact with fathers within the first hour after birth triggers a massive physiological shift in the baby. This simple act of physical connection raises the infant's oxytocin levels by 176%, creating an immediate neurological sense of safety and belonging. God created it that way, people. The benefits go far beyond just bonding. This hormonal surge leads to a 43% reduction in crying and a dramatic stabilization of the baby's heart rate and breathing. Perhaps most importantly for new parents, babies who receive this first hour contact with their fathers see their sleep duration double in the early days of life.
Welcome to Real Conservative News Travel Adventures. Nha Trang is Vietnam's premier seaside resort town, famous for its 6 km crescent of golden sand and a stunning bay dotted with 19 islands. Known as the seafood capital of the country, it blends a high-energy urban vibe with tropical relaxation, offering everything from luxury high-rise hotels to ancient cultural ruins.
Folks, that brings us to the end of today's news report. Thanks again to everyone who continues to support my content. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay blessed and stay safe most of all. In Jesus' name,